You know, I know no one wants to recognize their mortality, in that we have this wall between us and the rest of, I don't know, human experience. We see things through one set of eyes, and that's not a reference to the Handmaid's Tale, because obviously I don't want the Handmaid's Tale to be a manual for a revolution in society, and to have radical, theologically based state and statehood. So, no theocracies going on here. And like I've mentioned before earlier today, in which, in the absence of religion or belief system, it's always replaced by something else. And the suicide cults, again, is easily explainable, but it's the suggestion and the leading of young people into it that is the genocide, especially when it comes to taking advantage of so much knowledge about psychological development. So I'm going to tell you what this paper really means. And since I've been talking about this for close to a year now, and I know it takes time to break through the algorithm, and despite all of the censorship that I've encountered, again, yes, I have been, antagonizing people. Yes, some of them interpret that as harassment, but then the other solution is their cowardice and their inability to confront the fact that they've wasted so much time in their lives for the wrong purposes and for the wrong causes and for the wrong people. But we don't know what that is until it happens. I've been taken advantage of. I looked up to someone, and they didn't turn out to be as who I thought they were. That happens to everybody at least once in their life. Betrayal is a reason for suicidal ideology, or suicide idea. I can't even say it. Ideation, right? But it comes down to a few simple things. What am I looking here for? But basically, these four things here, right? So the immune system damages, inflammatory machinery, gut-brain axis, and drug utility. So inflammatory machinery is compounded by gut-brain axis, and that the abuses of pharmaceuticals, hormones, and painkillers. And when I say pharmaceuticals, I'm referring to, obviously mood stabilizing psychiatric medications. Well, not obviously, but within the context, I would hope you be able to make the connection between the subject at hand and the background information. So the immune system damages. So people that have immunodeficiencies, who have to fight off other microbial infections, if not parasitical infections. Again, this all compounds, right? There's organisms, and even mushrooms can influence a person towards suicidal ideation, as I've mentioned before, and that after the euphoria, the come down, and the mushrooms want you to wander off into the forest and kill yourself, so as to return the spores and the fruiting bodies through the decomposing corpse back into the soil. It's scary. I know it is. And drug utility, we think about the trade of fentanyl and carfentanil. Then also, again, I'm referring to the the gun bust, because guns and drugs usually go together. If you find one, you're going to find the other very quickly. Um, you don't have to jump. You don't have to leap to conclusions. It's probable cause to search it for search and seizure. I mean, if I was a beat cop, that's what I'd be looking for. But I'm not. I'm not a beat cop. Anyways, so the drug utility, again, the mixing of these euphoric psychedelics and fentanyl, carfentanil, ketamine especially. I've mentioned this before. Ketamine is widely abused in the party scene. And again, I've made reference to this, the Vice movie clip or Vice documentary clip of the UK, and this contributes to overall demoralization because a lot of people don't make good choices in life. They make bad life choices. They don't support their skill set. They rest on their laurels, and then they're confronted with mortality. And then it's like, oh well, what else do I have to live for? But this has changed. This is changed by the gut brain axis, and some of these drugs that are used, the pharmacogenics, actually nuke the gut bacteria, and they eat at the stomach lining, right? That's the inflammatory machinery. You'll have inflammation. You have ulcers, again from methamphetamine or stimulant abuse. And then again, you have your central nervous affects. So this is what has it has been communicated in the past, but there just isn't enough people giving a shit in order to reduce the number enough because of religious or cultural attitudes towards uh, people that we hold grudges against, either for being right about their intellectual position or being correct about their moral and ethical position. Yeah, that's all for now. Very good paper.